The lights flickered once. The music paused. And for a split second, everyone backstage thought it was just a blown fuse until they heard the scream. Before we go any further, make sure to like, comment, and share this video for more shocking, untold stories just like this one. Your support helps us uncover what others won't dare to reveal. Now back to the story. It began on a rainy night in 2014. Ariana Grande, then just 21, was riding high on the success of her debut album Yours Truly. She had just wrapped up a meet and greet in downtown Los Angeles when she made the split-second decision to hop into a blacked-out motorcycle with a friend, something she almost never did. She needed to clear her head. The industry pressures, the screaming fans, and the suffocating tightrope walk of fame had worn her thin. The ride was supposed to be her escape, but within minutes, it became something else. As they sped down Sunset Boulevard, a gas leak from a nearby food truck erupted into an explosion just a few feet from the bike. The shockwave knocked her friend off balance. The motorcycle skidded, flipped, and Ariana was thrown across the road like a rag doll. Traffic came to a screeching halt. People screamed. Her helmet cracked in two. Her jacket caught fire. For a horrifying 27 seconds, Ariana Grande lay unconscious in the middle of a dark street, surrounded by smoke, flames, and strangers screaming her name. Paramedics arrived quickly, but the damage was done. She suffered a concussion, a fractured wrist, second-degree burns to her left shoulder, and something else. Something nobody could diagnose. A fear crept in. It was the kind of fear that didn't wear a face or speak in words. It was the kind of fear that whispers to you when you're alone in a hotel room at 2 a.m., when the world is silent, but your heartbeat sounds like a warning bell. Ariana started to hear things, feel things. She told friends that something had changed inside her, that the accident was more than an accident. It was a beginning. The media never found out the full truth. Her team swept it under the rug with a carefully crafted tweet and a string of press photos showing her smiling days later. But Ariana wasn't smiling. She was spiraling. She began having dreams. Vivid ones. In one, she was standing on a darkened stage. The lights exploded above her, one by one. The crowd vanished, and a whisper came from the speakers. You were warned. Then came the second incident. 2 years later, during her Dangerous Woman tour rehearsal in 2016, stage techs were installing a new pyrotechnic system when something went horribly wrong. Without warning, a misfire caused a small fireball to erupt near the front platform. Ariana, who had been rehearsing a choreography step within feet of it, leapt backwards just in time to avoid the brunt of the blast. But her reaction was odd. She didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She simply stared into the smoke. When her team rushed to pull her off stage, she whispered, "It's happening again." Nobody knew what she meant. She started seeing patterns, strange coincidences. Each city she toured to had a report of a localized fire within hours of her arrival. A hotel in Phoenix caught fire in the wing next to hers. A fan collapsed after a gas leak in the venue lobby. Her security team joked that she was cursed. Ariana didn't laugh. She began reading books on energy, frequency, and ancient warnings. She hired a private spiritual advisor who reportedly told her something that made her cancel an entire show in Dallas without explanation. Insiders said she was sobbing backstage, repeating the same line over and over. "I wasn't supposed to survive the first time." Then came 2017. The Manchester Arena. Ariana's team almost pulled the plug on the concert last minute due to an internal equipment glitch and rumors of security threats. But she insisted the show must go on, that the fans deserved it. That decision would change her life forever, and end 22 others. The night of May 22nd, 2017, was supposed to be just another performance. But as Ariana sang her final note and the arena erupted in applause, a suicide bomber detonated an improvised explosive device just outside the exit tunnel. Ariana was rushed backstage as the stadium turned into chaos. She wasn't injured physically, but emotionally, the damage was irreversible. She didn't speak for days. She couldn't. She flew home to Florida and locked herself in her mother's guest room. Friends said she refused to eat, didn't sleep, and kept writing a single word in her journal over and over. Marked. To Ariana, it wasn't survivor's guilt. It was something deeper. 3 brushes with death, each one closer than the last. And each one, she believed, was not just random. Someone, or something, had been trying to warn her. But the most terrifying part? She wasn't sure if the warnings were meant to save her or stop her. What was Ariana hiding from the world? What did she see that night on Sunset? And what truth was buried beneath the ashes of Manchester? We will dive into the voices Ariana started hearing, the secret visit from a Department of Homeland Security official, and the sealed file labeled Grande Protocol, Level Red. The answers get darker from here. They told her it was just PTSD, that the voices weren't real. But when a federal agent handed her a file marked classified, Grande Protocol, Level Red, she realized the truth was never meant to be found. Before we unravel what Ariana saw that changed her life forever, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Your engagement helps expose the secrets most will never hear. Now brace yourself, because what you're about to hear has been buried for a reason. June 2017. 2 weeks after the Manchester bombing, Ariana was a shell of herself. She had stopped responding to texts. She turned down media interviews. Her own team hadn't seen her in over 5 days. But what they didn't know was this. Ariana was being watched. It started with a black SUV parked across the street from her mother's Boca Raton home. Same vehicle, same 2 men inside, every day at 6 a.m. At first, Ariana thought it was paranoia. She told herself it was just grief, exhaustion, trauma. But then came the knock. Not on her front door, on her bedroom window. Ariana, startled from sleep, peeked behind the curtain. A man in a dark suit was standing on the lawn, holding a sealed manila envelope and a badge pressed to the glass. He didn't speak, just handed her the envelope and walked away. Inside the envelope was a single file. It read, Subject, Ariana Grande. Code, 9X Delta Romeo. Status monitored. Below it, a chilling subtitle. Grande Protocol, Level Red. Do not disclose to public. She flipped through the pages, hands trembling. What she found was horrifying. Reports dating back to 2013, before she ever rose to fame, detailing her movements, health, and an unexplained anomaly in her biometric readings. One entry read, Subject exhibits unusual electromagnetic field disruption when exposed to combustion sources. Known incidents logged in 2014, Sunset gas leak, 2016, staged pyrotechnic misfire, 2017, Manchester IED. All within radius of subject. Another entry. Pattern suggests subject may be catalyst or beacon. Probability of event clustering exceeds 98%. Advisory, maintain surveillance. Ariana dropped the file. Her heart was racing. She remembered her spiritual advisor's final words before vanishing without a trace. You weren't chosen for fame. You were selected for containment. What did that mean? The next day, she contacted the only person she thought might help, an old friend, Alex, who used to work with DHS cybersecurity. They met at an abandoned beach house outside Jupiter, Florida. She showed him the file. His face drained of color. Alex confirmed the worst. What Ariana had in her hands wasn't a tabloid conspiracy or fan fiction. It was a government protocol. A real one, reserved for individuals of unknown origin with non-terrestrial anomalies. In plain terms, the government believed Ariana wasn't just a pop star. She might be something else entirely. They've been watching you since you were 16, Alex told her. Not because of who you are, but what you might trigger. He explained further. There was a project deep inside DARPA. One Ariana's file referenced only once as Project Echo Pulse. According to rumors, it involved studying individuals with rare genetic traits linked to cosmic or quantum disruptions. People who unconsciously affected electromagnetic fields or combustion reactions. People like Ariana. Her accident in 2014? Monitored. The stage malfunction in 2016? Predicted. Manchester? Flagged 6 days before the event. Alex revealed that he once saw a memo stating that if Ariana ever died under suspicious explosive conditions, a global lock protocol would be initiated, one that would trigger a massive data purge across US intelligence systems. "You're not just famous," he whispered. "You're a living failsafe." Ariana broke down. None of it made sense. Why her? Why music? Why was she famous to begin with? Alex answered simply, "Because the world needs you distracted." She went silent. For the next few months, Ariana played the role. She gave carefully rehearsed interviews. She smiled on stage. She thanked her fans. But every night, she'd study that file. She saw the connections, the triangulation of cities, the locations of fires, explosions, bombings, all within days or miles of her concerts. A horrifying idea began forming in her mind. What if she was triggering them? What if something inside her, an energy, a frequency, a curse, was the matchstick? What if the real reason she became a global superstar wasn't talent, but to keep her within reach? Then, in late 2018, she disappeared for 3 weeks. Publicly, her PR team said she was recovering from exhaustion. Privately, she was in Greenland at a military research facility Alex had warned her about, a facility known as Site 9. She'd been invited under a false pretense of mental health rejuvenation. But it was a trap. Inside Site 9, she was interrogated, scanned, tested. And most chilling of all, she was shown something. A surveillance clip from the Manchester explosion. But not the news footage. A thermal recording from a military drone above the arena. The explosion, captured in infrared, showed a shockwave. But not from the bomb. From Ariana. Milliseconds before the blast, her entire body lit up in heat signature brighter than anything else on screen. A pulse. Then the explosion. She had released something. They knew it. And now so did she. They let her go, on one condition. Stay silent. Keep performing. Never speak of what she saw. And in return, they'd protect her from herself. But Ariana no longer believed in their protection. She began recording everything. Every dream, every sign, every unexplained fire, every time a device short-circuited in her presence. She kept the documents in a hidden vault. She entrusted a second copy to Alex. And she waited. Because Ariana Grande knew the final incident was coming. The one she wouldn't walk away from. Now listen closely. Because this is where it all ends. Or maybe where it truly begins. Tokyo, March 22nd, 2020. It was supposed to be a triumphant return. A surprise performance to launch her new tour. One that wasn't even listed on the official schedule. Only a handful of insiders knew it was happening. No cameras. No press. But 17,000 fans somehow showed up. They were told they'd be part of a private, elite fan experience. But what they got was something no one could have predicted. A night the world would talk about without ever understanding. Ariana walked onto the stage at 9:13 p.m. sharp, dressed in all white. No dancers. No smoke machines. Just her. Alone. Backlit in eerie blue light. She started with a whispered version of her unreleased track, a song no one had ever heard before. One titled Static Angel. And as she sang the first verse, the LED screen behind her glitched. Not a tech error. Not random static. But a message. Hello, Alex. It's time. Fans captured it. Some screens blacked out. Others showed distorted shapes, as if something was breaking through the signal, not from Earth, but into it. Ariana didn't flinch. She kept singing. But that's when it happened. A pulse. A high-frequency vibration, so sharp it set off fire alarms. Phones froze. Security earpieces shattered. Several people near the stage collapsed with nosebleeds. Ariana's eyes fluttered, just for a second. Then the floor beneath her began to glow. From beneath the stage, a symbol appeared, a burning geometric shape. Pentagon. Triangle. Circle. Interlocked in some unholy union. People screamed. Stagehands ran toward her. And then, boom. The entire arena went dark. No fire. No sound. Just silence and smoke. When emergency crews arrived 8 minutes later, the power grid was fried. No trace of an explosion. No casualties reported. No injuries. Just one thing was missing. Ariana Grande. She had vanished mid-verse, mid-stage, mid-note. Gone. At first, the media went into overdrive. Pop star faints on stage. Tour cancelled after malfunction. Grande suffers breakdown. But it was all noise. Because behind closed doors, something far more chilling happened. Alex, Ariana's one-time confidant, received a package that night. Unmarked. No return address. Inside, a USB drive, a silver ring, and a single sheet of paper, handwritten in Ariana's distinctive handwriting. The note read, "Don't look for me, but if this ever goes public, tell them the signal is real. And tell them I was the first, not the last." Alex opened the drive. There was only one file. A voice memo. Ariana, whispering. "They think this is about fame. About trauma. But this is about ignition. The truth isn't what happened to me. It's what's inside you. If you're hearing this, the protocol failed. The failsafe is broken. And I've gone beyond. Tell the world, we were always the fuse. I just burned faster." Within hours, global monitoring stations recorded a heat spike in the upper thermosphere above Tokyo. Something that looked like a solar flare, but wasn't from the sun. For 36 minutes, communications satellites went offline. GPS signals scrambled. Air traffic was grounded. And then nothing. Everything went back to normal. No Ariana. No follow-up statement from her team. Her social accounts frozen. Music pulled from streaming platforms. Tour dates quietly erased. It was as if she had been deleted. And yet months later, a photo surfaced on an encrypted dark web server of a woman in a white coat standing barefoot in the middle of a salt flat under a violet sky. Her back was turned, but on her neck, faint but unmistakable, was the tattoo Ariana had revealed just once and never again. Delta Xi, let the light in. There was no metadata, no traceable source, just a file name. Angel_returning_01. So what do we believe? That Ariana Grande cracked under pressure? That she suffered from delusions after a string of traumatic events? That she died in a mysterious fire? Or do we believe what she tried to warn us? Through her lyrics, through her silence, through the final melody she never got to finish? That she wasn't running from something. She was running toward it. If you believe this story needs to be heard, help us spread it. Like this video if you believe Ariana was silenced. Comment what you think Project Echo Pulse really was. Share this with someone who still listens to her music at night, wondering if she's still out there. Because maybe, just maybe, you're part of the pattern too. And the next ignition could start with you.